So good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to wish you, on behalf of the FORTIS consortium, a happy New Year to all of you, and welcome to the second Q&A webinar on the scope of FORTIS Open Call 1. Thank you so much for being here, and today's session will be like just mainly for your questions. So it's kind of different from the first recording, but before I go there, let's just to remind you that this webinar is being recorded. You can always revisit the session afterwards. Just go to the Fortis digital platforms, and you will be able to see it and find the recording very easily. So as I was saying, this webinar is mainly for Q&A. So the goal is to try to answer your doubts, your questions about the call. So please use the Q&A tab for that. Everyone will be able to see the questions that are entered the system, and you also have the opportunity to vote on the questions that you believe are most relevant for you, and we will try to answer those first. But the goal is to answer all the questions that are entering the system. But for some reason, if we are not able to answer all of them today, we will try our best to make available the answers to all of them in our FAQ page on the website. So in order to not miss the most important questions, you are able to vote on those. So you can go there as soon as a question enters. You can vote on the things that you believe are more relevant to answer. And as I was saying, this is mostly for Q&A. We are doing a brief introduction to the Fortis project, the technical specifications, and the guideline for applicants, but it's very, very, very brief. So if you want to see the details about the call, what are the conditions, the terms, the requirements, eligibility, so you can always go and revisit the informative webinar that we organized and held last December. So anything that you need to know, you can always go there and see it. And then here, this is the table of contents for today's session. We have the very brief introduction to the project. After that, topic and technical details. Then we have the essential information, and we finalize with the Q&A session. Today's speakers, we have Sarah from Technologia, from Tampere University, and myself, Daniel, from F6S. So without further ado, I will give the floor to Sarah that will introduce you to the Fortis project. The floor is yours, Sarah. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks a lot, Daniel. Thank you to all of you for being here. And I will very briefly, in 3 slides, go through the goals and objectives of this Fortis European project. Next slide, please. So the project overview is that, this is a EU-funded project which will bring a solution for enable robots to interact with humans in a very human-like way. In this sense, the main objectives are focused on the human-centric solution, on the multi-robotic-centric solution interacting with these humans, and also a safe and trustworthy human-robot interaction. And the solution will be implemented in 3 different pilots in the environments of construction, infrastructure, services, and manufacturing. Next slide, please. About the tangible expected outcomes, TOs, for this project. There will be 2 types of toolkits, one based in human-centric, which will develop tools to model the human status, will collect data, we will develop AI-based cognition and interaction between human and robots. The other toolkit that we will be developing will be the robot-centric. These solutions will include robotic intelligibility and dynamic multi-robot reconfigurability, and finally, the trustworthy interaction between the human and the robot that will integrate digital twins and resource optimization. Next slide, please. And the pilots, there will be three. The one will be about the construction sector, sorry, which will be implemented in Garcia, a company in Portugal, which is quite challenged due to the pavement, for example. The second pilot will be in Vías in Madrid, will be about infrastructures of the metro and rail. And the challenge here are that the robot can work outside the rails. It's a very noisy environment with few light. And the third pilot will be in Turkey, in Beko, and it will be related to manufacturing, which is a quite indoor environment structure with AGVs and some noisy areas. And I think this is all from my side. Next slide. I think I will be give the floor to Wael from Tampere University. Thanks a lot.
Hello. Thank you, Sarah. So we can start now with the technical topics. I will go very fast on these because this is already, I guess, people here already read the descriptions. And we have also description or recorded the video of the first webinar, which explains this. Next slide, please. So as usual, in this kind of cascade fund, we have topics, or in our case, there will be subtopics or topics to apply for. So mainly we have 4 topics. One of them is about the activity recognition of the human. The other one is about the long-term memory management in the human-robot interaction. The third one is about enhancing the robot intelligibility using the directional audio and visual effects. And then the fourth one is multimodality semantic segmentation perception. Next slide, please. So for the topic 1, we have 2 subtopics. One of them is the human activity recognition using non-wearable sensors. So anything that we need to sense about the human should be from non-wearable sensors, maybe cameras, audio, whatever technology you would like to use, but it shouldn't be on the human body. And then the other one is the topic 1.2. Next slide, please. Is about the human activity recognition using wearable sensors. So here we give the options for the applicants to go with one of these kind of methodology of sensing the human motion, recognizing the motion in the hands or the fingers or whatever technology seems to be feasible. Then for topic 2, we have also 2 subtopics. One of them is memory consolidation and forgetting mechanisms. So basically, you know that our system partially will be running on mobile devices or mobile platforms that have limited access to the infrastructure, or it has limited access to the resources. And we would like to have an optimized solution in terms of how the memory can be managed in the human robot interaction concept. So if I'm seeing a human and then I need to interact with the human for 1 hour, then I need to go, and then the robot needs to come back maybe after 2-3 days, recognize this as a human, and then build up on what has been discussed 3 days ago. Part of this memory should be removed, outdated, not needed, and then the other part should be kept and relearned or rebuild on it. So this is what this subtopic is about. Next, please. The other one is the long life, which is subtopic from the topic 2, which is 2.2, and it's about lifelong and continual learning for personalized adaptation, and basically how the robot will be knowing that this is the human that I spoke 3 days ago, and this is what I need to learn or relearn or update my AI models or whatever mechanism needs to be done here. So this topic is about how we can include this personal adaptation and continual learning for the human. Next, please. Then we have topic 3, and also this is divided into 2 subtopics. 3.1 is about using audio to communicate to the human. So the robot needs to communicate to the human, and then we would like to use like spatial and adaptive audio methodology. This is some kind of scenario that we have we seen that we as a human we turn our heads when we talk to people to gesture which one I'm directing my discussion to. But if I have a mobile platform that I need to move all the robot, for example, to direct to someone, and it doesn't have face or it doesn't have maybe even a recognizable front from back and so on and so forth. So spatial audio here can be essential for this type of activity, and having into also account that there might be a noise coming from the surrounding, how we can isolate this. So please be be visionary about this, and then let's see what kind of ideas we will have from this. Then we have 3.1, which is about the visual cues for enhanced intelligibility. As I'm speaking now, I am doing my gestures. I have facial expressions that everyone can see. This automatically translates to our heads to understand different things. And we would like to implement something like this with our robots when they communicate with the human, that there is some intelligibility. This can be done either using some graphics on the screen or something like that, or some lights or directional lights, or whatever ideas comes to your mind. This also, we believe that it's important in our use cases. Next, please. Okay, the final topic doesn't have any subtopics. So basically, it's about how we can segment the surrounding and the scenes, including the furniture, including the human, including the resource, the other robots, and all of that. And here we are looking for a solution that integrate all of the sensoric data coming from different sensors. And we are looking for an application that easy to deploy, easy to integrate with the existing solutions. There are more explanation maybe you can find useful in the technical annex. So for this one, um, you need to kind of build a system that will go on the robot and to let's say understand and segment the scenery around. And with this, just the last thing that we had some questions in the last topic about the data that coming and what is the data that will be used. This is the only maybe topic that we specifically mention the pilots that might provide data and so on, because this is applies to the scene that we have. So we have 3 pilots, as my colleague Sarah mentioned, and then 2 of them are one with construction, the other one is infrastructure. These pilots might have already now data that can supplement this, but please follow the instructions as mentioned in the technical annex, at least for this topic. And that's it from my side. I guess Daniel will take over. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, and Sarah, for your brief introduction to the Fortis project and technical details. Now I will give you a very brief presentation on essential information about the call. As I mentioned in the beginning, uh, you will find more details about this information in the first informative webinar and also in the guide for applicants. So please go there and revisit the webinar or read the guide for applicants. But in any case, in a nutshell, here is the main things that you need to know about this call. First of all, we have a budget of up to 2 million euros to support these proposals. Our goal is to support up to 8 projects, which means that we have around 250K of contribution per project. So one thing that you need to know also is very important where you are preparing your proposals is that a max contribution per entity is only 200K. So as you will see, in terms of consortia, we are asking for a minimum of 2 entities and a maximum of 3. So this is the limitation that we have regarding consortia. So one of the entities cannot have more or cannot request a contribution higher than 200K. The solutions that you are proposing uh, have to have a technology readiness below or equal to TRL 6 to level 6, sorry, which also is very important and you have to mention in your proposal template. The call is open to SMEs, mid caps, and RTOs, including universities, in the specific sectors that we highlight in the guide for applicants. Uh, and yeah, so the consortium must be formed by at least one SME and one RTO entity. And in terms of country eligibility, so you have here the EU member states. Uh, we have the OCT linked to member states and also Horizon Europe associated countries that were listed in the version that you'll find here in the bottom of this webinar of this slide. So here is the list that we are considering for this call. So the version 2.7 published on the 15th of September 2023, which means that at this time, both United Kingdom and Switzerland were not part or considered Horizon Europe associated countries, which means that entities from these 2 countries are not eligible as part of this call. Our objective is basically to, attract and engage these system actors and innovators that will produce an outcome that will contribute to develop, integrate, and validate solutions in Fortis project. In terms of eligible costs, I will go very fast through this. So we will fund direct personal costs, activities to develop the tools for the Fortis solutions, investment in software, hardware, travel costs, dissemination communication activities, exploitation activities, and also subcontract is allowed if it is not on non-key domain expertise, and you have to justify the use of subcontracting. In terms of documentation packs, so we have 4 documents that are very important for you to be aware of. So you will find those on the open call webpage. For instance, the guide for applicants established the terms and conditions of the call, the technical specification that indicates all this information that was previous shared with my colleague yes. We have Annex 2, that the proposal template that you must add there in order to submit your proposal, and that needs to be uploaded to the application form. And the subgrant agreement template that established your rights and obligation as part of this contribution to the Fortis project. Submission platform is F6S platform, and here is the link that you need to use in order to apply to the call. This is the application form that I was mentioned that you have to fill in and upload your proposal template. Final suggestion is not a suggestion, is a requirement. You must have a user profile in order to be able to submit your proposal under this call. In terms of remote evaluation, I will go very fast on this. So if you submit an application that is eligible, it will go through the remote evaluation, the expert evaluation. 2 experts, independent experts to the consortium will be assigned to your proposal. They will evaluate, and the 16 highest ranked proposals will be invited for an online interview, 40 minutes interview where you have to present your solution in 20 minutes and your proposal in 20 minutes. After that, we have 20 minutes of questions. And the 8 highest ranked proposals from the online interview will be invited for the contracting stage and to be part of the Fortis program. So in terms of timeline, what is important to know is that the deadline is on the 21st January 2026 at 5 p.m. Brussels time. I will strongly advise not to wait until the last minute to submit your proposal. So try to submit in advance 1 day, 2 days before the deadline, just to avoid any kind of situations where you are trying to submit at the deadline and you miss it by 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever. So it's important to try to submit as soon as possible. In terms of remote and contracting, remote evaluation and contracting, so as soon as we close the call, we will start the evaluation, and we expect to complete this stage by end of March, and you will be engaged in the Fortis program for the 10-month Fortis program since April 2026, so until 2027. And that's it from my side. Now we are open for questions. As I mentioned in the beginning, please use the Q&A tab for that. You can vote on the questions that you believe are most important and relevant to answer right now. If for some reason we are not able to answer all the questions, we will do our best to include those in the FAQ page on the website, which is being updated. So you will see that at the moment is not working. Uh, we are trying to update as soon as possible, and we will include those questions also in that page. So without further ado, I think we can start with the questions. So please uh, include yours there, and you, as I said, you can always vote on those. So I will start with the most voted, voted one. So, hello, Fortis toolkits already exists, and we should integrate our solutions with them, or our contribution will make those toolkits. Well, I think you are the right person to answer this one. Great.
Yes, I saw more than one question about these toolkits, so I would try to explain it very fast. So in the project, we are developing our own toolkits following a process that we did in the first years of the project. We identified the needs and the features of our solution and so on and so forth. Now, these are going to be are already under development, and there will be some demos for later. But what we are asking now is something will add to the solution that we have. So the integration part is important at this point, that we are looking for solutions that can work standalone by themselves, and you develop them as is. So you don't need to get data from dependencies from the toolkits that we have now. And at some point in the end of the open calls, at least in these open calls, we will have some work to be done by both sides on the integration, how we can get your solution working with our solution. But you don't need to build your proposals that there is a dependency that you need our toolkits to provide you anything. This is the message.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. Just one thing, please address your questions on the Q&A tab. We cannot give or allow people to speak in this webinar due to the GDPR. So, okay. Thank you for understanding. Okay, next question is, are we providing our own data set in topic 2, or is it provided by Fortis? I think you mentioned a little bit during your presentation, but if you want to reinforce your message again, well, would
Yes.
be amazing.
Yes, for all the topics except topic 4, which is the last one, all these topics you need to provide your own data. Now, some of these topics requires validation with the project's data, but this is not for you to develop your tool. It's for us to validate that your tool works as we need it or not. Now, I guess there is the process of later the people will be qualifying to the next stage. There will be, I guess, an interview and so forth. This was explained in the previous how we do it, and in that maybe we can discuss this further. But the idea is the topic 1, 2, and 3 means their subtopics as well. they will not get data from the project for the development purposes. Okay. Only topic 4, there is some kind of data will be given from at least 1 or 2 of the pilots, but we recommend that at any point try to provide your own data and don't wait the project to provide you the data, because there will be some delays might happen in the process. So to be sure that your application is strong, try to provide your own data or the method that you would be applying for acquiring this data for your research.
Okay, very understandable. Thank you so much. Next question is, what is the expected output of subtopic 2.2 lifelong and continual learning for personalized adaptation, and how will it be used by Fortis? Do it just provide core, or is some API involved? Sorry. Again,
Okay.
well,
As I mentioned, our solution is mainly will be deployed on mobile platforms, and we are looking for a demonstration of a running application. The output or the delivery will be for sure some explanation, maybe a documentation about the solution, but also the source code that we can integrate with the solution. So we are looking for applications and source code and explanation if this code uses APIs or third-party services. This should be very well explained in the proposal how you are planning to do it, because as I said, the solutions or the outcome of these open calls, at least open call 1, will be integrated with the solution in the coming year.
okay, perfect. Thank you. So the next question is related to, okay, is overhead eligible for funding in RTOs and SMEs on person and material costs? So I can answer this one. I believe you are mentioning indirect costs, and yes, indirect costs are eligible. You will find the structure of this table, of the project costs table, in the template and in the proposal template, and you will find that there is a calculation for the indirect costs that you must consider as part of the identification of your project total costs. So yeah, I don't know what's happening and why my screen went black. I will try to solve it very quickly. I don't know. Okay, just a second. Sorry for that. Okay, and send again. Mm, Okay, it's not working. Okay, it's loading. Okay, sorry for this technical issue, but yeah, I think I answered the question. Yeah, indirect costs, if you are mentioning indirect costs, yes, they are eligible as well. And one thing that I want to also to add here is that we are providing the grant as a lump sum mechanism. So you don't need to provide any invoice or financial statement as part of the progress and for your costs. So sorry for that. I'm just trying to find the last slides, and okay, we are good. Okay, let's go to the next one. Do projects need to be ready for demoing in mobile device?
Well, we didn't mention this. Oh, okay, I guess I'm answering this. We didn't mention this as a
Yes.
requirement in the technical annex. So if you will be able to do that, that would be nice. But I don't think this was a requirement in the technical annex.
Okay, very clear. Let's go to the next one. So what are the quantitative constraints on end-to-end latency, memory footprint, and on robot compute for real-time multimodal perception and continual learning in Fortis pilots? Well,
We don't
again,
we didn't specify this in at this point. So it's up to you how you will demonstrate that your solution is fast enough, but there is no limitation specified at this point.
Okay. So the next question is this one. So it is not clear to me the role of the pilots. Could you explain, contextualize further? Well, I guess.
Okay. Mm, it is very simple. So topic 1, 2, and 3, you as an applicant needs to provide your data, your demonstrations, everything. Some of these topics, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it's in topic 1, means subtopic 1 and 1.1 and 1.2, you might, or your solution might be subjected for a validation from a pilot data. So we collect data from one of our pilots and then we test with your solution. For topic 4, there will be data provided for you for the segmentation part, but you also can bring your own data, your own validation, your own scenario. So it's not limited only for the project. I hope this is clear, the answers the question.
Okay. Thank you. So we are receiving a lot of questions. Let's go to the next one. What happens if your proposal has items that cuts across multiple topics? Is it all right to simply select a topic that best suits your proposal and finalize submission? Yeah, maybe I can address this one. Uh, yeah, you just need to find the topic that best suits your proposal. So even if you believe that uh, your innovative solution can address or overlaps with different topics, is the best that you should do is to try to select one topic and try to address that challenge. In terms of selection, this is also written in the guide for applicants. Our goal is to try to balance the proposals that will be selected through these topics. So this is one of our goal. But in any case, the first thing that we need to be aware of is that we are trying to fund and support the proposals that have the highest scores. So this is one of the things that we want to do. So we want to try to aggregate both topics and quality in the projects. Well, I don't know if you want to add something here as well.
No, no.
Okay. So this is done. Let's go to the next one. Okay, I think we answered this one, but I will also ask. So I would like to inquire about the eligibility of UK-based organizations. Can they participate as full members of a consortium in FORTIS project, or are there specific condition funding rules applying to them? So as I mentioned in this webinar earlier, and also in the first webinar, and you will find also this information in the guide for applicants. We are using the Horizon Europe Associated Countries listed at version 2.7. It's available on the guide for applicants and also here in the recording. And at that time, both UK and Switzerland were not associated countries to the Horizon Europe. That means that UK-based entities and Switzerland-based entities are not eligible as part of this call. So I think it's clear, but please go and check also the guide for applicants. Okay, so for the next one, we have for the topic 2.2, do we need to target the pilots already in place, or the solution can be generic and applicable to other domains? Well, again.
Sorry. Can you ask the question again?
So for the topic 2.2, do we need to
Mhm.
target the pilots already in place, or the solution can be generic and applicable to other domains?
It can be applicable to other domains.
Okay, very straightforward and clear, I believe. We have another question regarding personal cost. So our personal cost claim using simplified cost options. So as I said, we are this funding is provided as a lump sum mechanism. So basically, you have to bear in mind the best indications from the commission where we are using lump sums. So simplified cost options, if I understand correct, is possible in terms of that you have to provide and justify the costs that you are indicating to your team, and it needs to be according to the what is the best amount that is normally used and funded by Horizon Europe programs. So there is a background that establishes more or less what we consider as justifiable per country. So you can always use this as a proxy for your project and the way you calculate the personal costs. I hope it was clear. If not, please let me know. Okay, so next question is the following. So, what is your understanding of virtual AI assistant in topic 2.2? We assume it is not embodied and helps the user in planning based on their physical and mental state. Well, again, you.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna comment if there is a technology that you would like to use is good or not. The idea is the description is I guess sufficient enough for you to select whatever technology you want. The word embodied AI is basically that we are deploying our AI on the physical system, that it's a robot. And this is the terminology that used by the EU Commission mainly. So
Okay, great, thank you. So in the next question, so in our work plan proposal, do you expect us to follow your topic subtopic structure or propose our own work package structure? Maybe I can answer this one. So the goal is for you to present your project implementation work plan. So where you will define the work package that you believe are essential in order to deliver your project. For the topics and subtopics, what you have to bear in mind is that your proposal needs to try to answer one of those topic challenge. So uh, you have to define your work plan structure as part of your project in order to implement it, successful implemented and deliver the outcome and results that you propose to at the end of the project. So you define that one. The other thing is like the subtopics and the topics. So those are the challenge that you have to answer. So your proposal must address those challenges, those topics that are defined in the guide for applicants and also in the technical details. Well, I don't know if you want to add something here.
no, what you mentioned is correct. So thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, we have someone here looking for a partner. I will keep this open. Maybe someone will address you. Okay, let's move on to the next. Do you want our solutions to address and align with the Fortis demonstrators use case?
Okay, maybe this is again. So for
Yeah.
only topic 4, we mentioned that the two use cases, construction and infrastructure, are the ones that will be providing and validating and so on. The idea is that these are the ones that we need to segment and build and 3D reconstruct the scene. And basically, then this is depending on the application and the pilot. The other ones are we are giving hints, or we are giving applicable scenarios, but if you have something else to demonstrate and you are convincing in your application, then I guess it's okay.
Okay, great. Thank you again. The next question is a follow-up of a previous one, so more expanded versions, as said by one of our attendees. So we are working on a solution mostly around customized LLM driven conversation robots that can do more than conversation. For instance, move around, animation, show image, but mostly used in education, vocational training. While this is under the heading of HRI, it feels pretty different from the kind of project you have. Is that something that can fit? We have worked on industrial robots in the past. Robotic intelligibility is one important part as it multimodal model perception, but for a different use case. Well, do you
Okay.
want
Yeah, I
to answer
can.
this?
Again, I'm not gonna comment about using any technology whatsoever, but this is a project about a human-robot interaction, and the interaction takes different shapes, different forms. Some of them are auditory interaction, so we speak to each other. Some of them is visual interaction. Some of the interaction can be physical, touching, haptic, and so on. So if you have the experience, you have the research, you have some infrastructure that you can provide for your application, I don't think that there is a problem in that.
Okay. Maybe I can add something here as well. So all the answers that we are giving cannot be perceived as a eligibility check of your proposals, you know. So it's important for you to read the guide for applicants, understand what are the requirements, what we are looking for, and do your self-assessment of your innovative solution. And then you understand if it is good or if this call fits on your objectives or solution or not. So we cannot perform like eligibility criteria or try to understand if your solution fits or not our challenge. It's very important for you to understand that. Okay, great. Next question. So, what is timeline of announcement of Fortis applications? As it was mentioned in my previous slides, so we are starting the evaluation as soon as the call closes. It will take some time, but during February, March, you should have an answer on the assessment and of your proposal. So that is what we expect to have. But I cannot give you a specific date on that. Okay, I see it seems here something missing, so I will delete this one. Okay, so next question we have is did Fortis Sea World going to be hot and climate and water is on alarming situation? Did any grassroots activations like AHD as innovation over safe drinking water can be considered? I don't know if it was clear. Well, you can check
Uh,
again in the
no,
question and answer.
no. Okay, very fast. Please follow the kind of the requirements mentioned in the technical annex, more or less. So some of these applications needs to work outside or in outdoor, and maybe there will be dust, maybe there will be but or water or something, but there is no any mention about how to build your system. And I'm honestly not able to understand fully what's the question is about. But if you are talking about the situation outside the climate, or how it is the situation in around the robot or something, we are not mentioning specifics on this that should limit or physically change things in your system. So I don't know.
Okay. If you want that indeed that submit this question, if you want to try to elaborate a little bit more, just to be more understandable, please do so. Okay, so the next question is about the contribution. So up to 2K per SME, referring to funding or project budget of project budget. Okay, so two things that I need to say here. So it's up to 2K per entity. So we don't say explicitly is that an SME. So as I was saying, so the contribution per project is 250K. So this is the max contribution that we can and will give to one project. We have also this cap on the maximum of entity can receive as a contribution of the project. So it's 200K. You have also to be aware that there are different funding rates per entity. So non-profit organizations have a funding rate of 100% and profit organizations 70%. We can also have to highlight here that there is also a limitation of 30% of project total costs. So project total costs that are allocated to RTOs. So those are the some of the requirements that we clearly identified in the guide for applicants, and I invite you and strongly suggest reviewing the guide for applicants. So I think the information is very clear there, and you can always go and check what are the limitations per entity and so on, and find the best, the way that you can build your financial costs or the project total costs for your project. Okay, so I think we answered this one, but here is again. So is robotics HRI in education a valid domain of application? So there, the topics are already well defined in the guide for applicants and technical details. So go there and you will and do your assessment and see if it fits what we are looking for. I think this is the answer at this point. So the next one is how is the computational power of your robots?
Well, there is no also again mention for this in the technical annex. So basically, mm, this depends on what kind of hardware you have and what you will demonstrate. There is no limitations at this point. So don't try to limit to what hardware you can have. This is my message.
Okay, I think it is very clear. Thank you. And we have a final question here. So we are using mobile robots and Google Assistant, Gemini for voice commands, calling and booking a robot session. We are not developed any AI. Is this okay? Again.
Again, we are not going to comment on if something's suitable or not. So make your own judgment on this. Read the description and think if this is suitable or not.
Yeah, I think that's the main message from today's session. Okay, so I don't see any questions here. We'll wait a few more minutes and see if other enter here the Q&A tab. But yeah, as we mentioned already a few times, it's important for you to read the technical details, the guide for applicants. So those documents are very useful for you to understand what are the goals and what we are looking for in terms of solutions. We cannot, and I hope you understand this, we cannot provide any kind of eligibility check of your proposal if it is under the scope of the call. So you must do this self-assessment and see if it is aligned with what is written in this document, so in the guideline for applicants and also in the technical details. So if you believe that there's a fit, if you believe that is adding something to the goals and outcomes that we are looking for, what we can say is please submit your proposal. So if it has quality, if it addresses one of the topics that we mentioned, if it is good for the advancing of the FORTIS solutions, toolkits, and is compatible with the solution that we are developing here, I think you have the answers already. So you should go and prepare your proposal and submit a competitive one. looking at the proposal template, of course, we have a proposal template that is mandatory for everyone to use. So there's the questions or the sections that you have to address as part of the call. You have to prepare a very good work plan, implementation sections, define your deliverables, define your milestones, build a strong project budget. So everything is there. I strongly advise you to read it carefully. And also, if you have any other questions, not during this webinar, but in the next few days, you can always address us and write to us to this email that you see in the screen. We are trying to be fast in giving your answers and providing your and clarify your doubts. And we will try to be the most responsive as we can in the last stage, just to be aware that you are doing the final preparations for your proposal and to finalize everything in order to submit on time. But yeah, you can always address those through this email. You can double check the FAQ page that is being updated, and I believe it will be online again very soon. And yeah, review these webinars. Review the first webinar, the informative webinar, where we provide a lot of details, how to submit, what is expected during the project implementation, what are the research that are eligible, what are the payment installments process, when this will start, how the remote evaluation will be conducted. And also the information about the technical details, where we went through them very detailed during this first informative webinar. So you have a lot of content already to read, to see, to view, and to read. So please do that. And yes, while we wait for a final question, I don't see anything entering the system. Maybe, well, do you have any suggestions, tips for everyone in order to submit a successful application?
Nothing, to be honest. Just build your story correctly. Be clear about your ideas, your objectives. Have very good structured methodology on how you will achieve your goals. These are the things that I guess will make the evaluators happy to read and to understand, because if the text is a little bit confusing, then it will be difficult for any reviewer to review it. So this is my suggestion.
Great suggestions. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, another thing that I want to highlight and underline here is that please be aware of the requirements, of the minimal requirements that we are asking. So please avoid submitting innovative solutions that are higher than TRL 6, for instance. They will be automatically excluded. Please be aware of the country's eligibility as well. So those requirements are very important, and I think you should also read more than if your solution is addressing what we are looking for. Please also take into consideration these requirements are so important. So uh, I believe, in my opinion, and if I was preparing, and I prepared a lot already in the past, if I was preparing a solution, giving time, addressing, trying to build the best solution or the best proposal to that particular call and topic, and find out that I was not eligible. So, and I receive like a rejection letter saying that I'm not eligible due to the eligibility criteria. So please read those very careful, and be aware that and confirm and check if you are completely eligible to participate in this call. And after that, please submit your proposal. If it is addressing one of the topics, as I was saying, uh, uh, yeah, if it is a great structure proposal, maybe it will be funded. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any other questions. There is other one looking for a partner to submit a proposal. I will keep this open. And since I don't I don't see any other questions, maybe I think we can close this session. I want to thank you, Well and Sarah, for your time, for your availability, for providing such great explanations and present the Fortis project very well. Uh, Wish you a great day to everyone, and we are looking forward to reading your proposals, your innovative solutions, and maybe you will be one of the ones selected, and we will work together from April onwards. So thank you so much, everyone. Wish you a great day and rest of the week, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
bye. Bye bye.